Good Saturday morning, YouTube. Welcome back. Here's the plan for today. It's early Saturday morning. Gonna head over to Brandon's. We're gonna start blowing apart the crew cab, introduce you to Brandon, introduce you to the crew cab. Gotta grab some breakfast on the way. So grab a little time lapse on the way over there. Introduce you to the truck and Brandon. Maybe a little Johnny Cash content. We'll see. Waiting on parts. Everything's on back order these days. But a lot to get done today. So let's get to it. All right, just got to Brandon's shop. Already started moving some trucks around, so go ahead and get Brandon introduced to the channel. Brandon Osborne.
What's up, everybody?
A lot of y'all should know Brandon from, if you're on any of the Facebook forums, which most people following this channel probably are. Brandon, you can probably see in the background. We met buying parts, bought a $40 bent bumper from him, and the rest is history. So
Still got that bumper, don't you?
I do. So everybody's familiar with Fred. If you're not, there's going to be a feature video on Fred one day. Crown Vic, Explorer rear, 390 FE, Dakota Digital, vintage air.
Tremec 5-speed.
Tremec, American Powertrain, right?
Yep.
Tremec 5-speed from American Powertrain. Nice little patina truck he found in a field. Threw a little, what's that stuff called?
Flood penetrol.
Flood penetrol. Came out pretty good. So here's what we're here to work on today. This is 69, don't pay attention to the grill. 69 crew cab, came out of Nebraska?
That's right.
Nebraska, so needs a little love. It's got some faux tina on it that got to figure out exactly what we're gonna do there. But it's got all the characteristic bump side rust spots in it. But not too terrible. I mean, it's a crew cab. You put up with a little more for a crew cab than you would a single cab these days. But complete with rat turds, carpet for a seat. Yeah, I've been sitting a while. Brakes still working. We actually just found out brake lights work. So I just got to drive it. Got to fix that. But the plan for this truck is 7.3 Godzilla 6R80. We're going to run an OBR standalone on the 7.3 and a quick 6 on the 6R80. Just going to be a cruiser, little show cruiser, Crown Vic swap, Explorer rear. Got some Detroit 20-inch Steelies coming. It's going to be a cool build. Probably going to see this thing at every F100 show in East Tennessee for the next couple of years once we get it together. So we'll push the truck back into the shop and start taking it apart, start mapping out all that, and probably show you that crate engine Godzilla too, because it is beautiful. Catch you in a second. Okay, got the crew cab in. Gonna give you a couple of little tidbits, kind of highlight some things we're working on and what's gonna happen here. So crew cab is in the bay. So we're gonna strip front clip off today. We're gonna unbolt the bed. That way we can still roll it out. And then when we need to pull the bed, we'll pull it. But basically gonna get it ready so we can start cutting old and busted and start putting in the new hotness. So while we've got it uncovered, let's go ahead and look at what the plan is for this bad boy. So the this 390? 360. FE's coming out. We're going with a little more power, a few more cubes. 7.3 Godzilla. So got it in last week. Brandon's been taking measurements into Kyle at Outcast. He's gonna make the first set of motor mounts for a Crown Bic Godzilla swap. Okay, it's always cool taking apart these old trucks. Every truck's got a story. Most of them, all of them are workhorses. One of the things that's always cool for me is kind of these little preserved spots when you take hardware out. I mean, you still got the paint on the inner fender, which obviously has seen some better days. And this is a pretty color. We're trying to decide if it was that aqua. You can kind of see it underneath some of this. But working truck for sure. It appears they attached this little tube for welding rods. These are probably some 7018s in there. I can't get them to come out without the whole tube. I mean, they're seized up in there. But then we found this little box under the hood, which appears to be a set of like roadside reflectors and some no telling how old those are. What is it? Is that just a rag?
Just a flag.
It's a flag. Ah. Yeah. No telling how old this is. There's 3 of them in here though. And I guess maybe they did some roadside trailer repair, 18-wheelers or something, Nebraska, who knows. Just a set of these under the hood. It's cool, some of the old stuff you find in old trucks. Anyway, back to the breakdown, more time lapse. Standalone for the Godzilla, what we're going to use to run it. Obviously, Ford hasn't come out with anything to control the Godzilla, let alone with a trans. Get it together, Ford. So, who can do it? Brandon did a little research, discovered OBR. We are an OBR dealer, so if you're going to do a Godzilla swap, looking for how you're going to control that. I know most people are using the OBR controller to run their Godzilla swap, so we're going to walk through what that looks like. If you're interested in that, we're a dealer form, $42.75 to the door. A little higher than what you'd get, from Ford for the Coyote stuff, but it's new. Nothing else is out right now. It's pretty much your only offering in terms of, reliability and OEM quality stuff. So let's look at this stuff.
On the harness, comes with factory style connections. Nothing that is too crazy, just straight up like Ford quality.
Everything's labeled really nicely too. Oil pump, you get your auxiliary, here's your power, your can, ground, O2 sensors. So it's going to be really easy to wire up, I think.
It comes with a OEM style quality computer from OBR.
Yeah, this doesn't look like something cheap or Chinese. Looks really OEM-ish. I mean, this is really similar to what you'd find on the 4.6 harnesses.
Now, OBR makes these standalone kits for Ford, GM, Chrysler, all their race products. They do that for them as well. As far as trans controller, we're going to use a it's the Quick 6. It's for the Gen 2 Coyote, or for the 6R80, which is what runs behind the Coyote. We're going to run that on the Godzilla as well.
Yeah, we've talked to some shops that 6R80 specialists. This is a cruiser. This is not anything he's going to take the drag strip or go beat on just over and over and over again. So the Quick 6 should be good on that. And until Ford comes out with something that you can control the two together, this is kind of what we're limited to. So we think it's going to be reliable. It'll be good. The Quick 6 stuff is out there. It's been used pretty good, so we'll get those pressures set and just let it roll. We won't be playing with it a whole lot. Oh yeah, also part of that OBR kit is you get this as well. So you get a pedal. I'm not going to take the pedal out, but you get the pedal. You get this box, which has the block off plates for the oil pan. If you've ever seen a Godzilla, they're Super Duty motors. There's an oil cooler there. You can take that off. There's 2 holes in the oil pan that'll seal that off. So we've got our power block. That's crank sensor, knock sensor of sorts. OBD hookups. I'm sorry, O2 sensor hookups, O2 sensors. So you get the pedal, you get the box of accessories, the computer, and the standalone harness, all for $42.75. As Brandon pointed out, got the Quick 6 here. That looks like a really easy to install kit as well. I couldn't put out another video without walking you through what's going on with the Johnny Cash stuff. So you guys have heard me talk about it, probably heard it on the podcast if you check that out, seen some Instagram posts about it. So Johnny Cash is the 68 black on black Ranger. So you can see in these years you could get a white top, and most of the black trucks came with like a burgundy interior. This truck was black on black. So the cab for it is actually sitting right here, and Brandon pulled this. I think Luke Seaborn, I believe is his name. So is who we got that from. So really clean example of a truck. We've got it pulled apart in here, but the chassis is what is currently the table for so many. Of course, Willwood for both of these builds. But this is a Gen 2 Coyote 6R80, running a lot of Outcast parts from Kyle, Howard, trailing arm mounts, upper CV mounts, motor mounts, and the repositioning mounts that set the motor back further. Running the coilovers, the Viking double adjustable coilovers from F100 Performance, or Andrew's Tuning and Performance, Andrew Peterson. It's going to run an accessory drive from Power by the Hour. That should be here hopefully in the next week or so. We'll get that going. Ultimate headers. You can get these actually at Outcast, or you can go to Ultimate and get them. Plenty of room for the steering to be run. So if you've set one of these Coyotes in and you felt like you needed to notch the frame rail, this is a not budget friendly, super high quality though, stainless. So we're going to run stainless 2.5-inch exhaust on this truck. We're going to run some Flowmaster Flow FX. Shout out to our buddy Ivan Corden. I've actually got one right here. Ivan Corda is running these on his Gen 3 Coyote. They are stainless. These are 2.5. Yeah, these are 2.5. We're running all 2.5 on this truck. They sound really incredible. Heard his truck at Grand Nats. I knew that's enough we wanted to run on this truck. So here's where we're at with it. It's back from powder coat. We've got it partially assembled. We are waiting on the rear from powder, and that's all I need to get the rear built, get the 4-link set back up. We'll get this thing to a roller, and then it'll come over to my house, my shop, and I'll build stainless exhaust. We're gonna do a custom X pipe with those into those Flow FX, dump out on each side of the fuel tank back here. So that's a sweet ride. That's gonna be cool. We actually started on the crew cab because so many things were on back order for Johnny Cash, but my man in the brown truck delivered yesterday, brought us the Coyote control pack from Ford that we've been waiting on. So we will be able to continue making progress on that build as well. So we're going to do a different build series for that one. So this build series will probably build off of the crew, and then I'll start one for Johnny Cash as we get moving on it. So speaking of the crew cab, let's end this off with progress that we made today. We had to push the truck out, so I'm gonna run outside real quick and grab some video of that. Had to push the crew back outside to make room for Fred. Fred parks in the bay with the lifts at night because he's scared of the dark. So push the crew out, and here's where we ended the day. We got the whole front clip off. Bed bolts have been soaked so that next weekend we can pull those off, and then we'll start gutting the interior, which quite frankly I'm really excited for because as I showed, seat's pretty worn. Interested to see, looking from the bottom, the cab floor looks pretty decent with the exception of, you know, the normal stuff up front, but as you can tell, seat is just roached. And speaking of roached, this thing's covered in rat turds, so looking forward to getting that stripped out and seeing. This thing sat for a while up in Nebraska. Seeing, you know, what we're working with. It's pretty solid. Given, you know, it's solid where it's solid, and it's not where it's not. But nothing that we can't get repaired and get into acceptable form for a 7.3 Godzilla 6R80. This truck's gonna have snowed-in interior in it. That's what's in Frank. We're gonna do the split bench up front, which is gonna be neat. Solid bench in the back. This will have Dakota Digital. From Andrew's Tuning and Performance. It will have vintage air, sure fit, AC in it, so it's gonna be a really solid ride when we're done with it. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one. If you like this, share it with your friends, subscribe. You know the YouTube thing. Hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.